About time you two showed up.
Hello, Mr. Hobbs. I was just wondering if...
Can it, Goldilocks? I don't have time for chit-chat. Just get undressed behind that screen.
Undressed?
That was the deal. An extra 20 quid because I need you with your kit off.
The studio was freezing.
And as for you, darling, no need to get undressed. I've got a vivid imagination, so I'll just use that. Either way, just go sit over there on that rug and give me your best belly pock floozy. That's perfect. Just hold it there.
Nico made for a good distraction. I just needed to figure out how to get a look inside that portfolio.
What do we got? What do we got here? I increased the thermostat, the fuse box, a little bit of bottle, stairs. There's a ton of shit here, man.
A variety of liquor bottles, all empty. It didn't seem quite right. The fuse box was emitting a sinister buzzing sound. It should have been condemned years ago. The thermostat looked older than the building itself.
Oh,
Hey! Leave that dial alone. The heating gobbles up all the power and the circuits can't take it.
Sorry. I turned the thermostat down again. An old record player and amp. The only thing in the room not covered in paint. Wow, an old Bofson Wang stereo. I hadn't seen one of those for years. Burroughs, Dick, Rand. Hobbs liked his literature heavy and paranoid. Hobbs seemed to have a thing for 70s psychedelic jams. Hobbs?
all right.
The stereo was switched off. Adjusting the volume wasn't going to make any difference.
All right, calm down. Turntable, boom.
A record was spinning on the turntable.
Want to do some
I turned the
scratching?
volume up a few notches. A gaudy pink negligee. Huh. It didn't seem like Hobbs's style. It was the elevator control panel. Up on the balcony was a heavy door. It was locked. I wondered what was behind the door.
Fuck me if this will get copyrighted.
Hey, stop meddling with that. The power's ropey enough as it is.
Blowing the power would certainly have distracted Hobbs, but the elevator alone wasn't going to trip the whole system.
Yeah, I know. Let's check the fuse box.
I wasn't going to mess around with that wiring. I didn't need to sit. It was time for action. A well-worn stool sat in the corner.
What's behind the screen? So if I increase the thermostat and then push the elevator?
My, if it isn't George Stobart.
What the
Lady
fuck?
Piermont. Oh my. You're...
Naked? Of course. As an artist's muse, one often finds oneself en pelotas. Now, George, don't be shy. Come here and give me a big hug.
That day was the day the nightmares had begun. Trapped, smothered, choking on lavender.
George, darling, pass me my robe. It's terribly cold in here.
Oi, what are you doing with a blooming robe on? God help me, but you're supposed to be naked. I've got a deadline to meet.
Well, you won't be meeting any deadlines with manners like that. And besides, it's freezing in here.
Lady Piermont and I had met before. She was larger than life, in every way. Lady Piermont.
Oh, George, be a darling and sort the heating out in here.
I'll see what I can do.
Just a tad. Just a tad. He's gonna
Hey!
freak out.
I've told you, don't mess with that thermostat.
Sorry, but Lady Piermont is cold. I thought...
Look, pal, I know it's brass monkeys in here, but the wiring in this building is ancient, and the fuse box won't take it. Her Majesty will just have to get used to chapel hat pegs.
Lady Piermont, Mr. Hobbs won't let me turn up the heating.
Well, we'll soon see about that.
Oh, crumbs.
If you do not adjust the heating, I shall refuse to cooperate.
Lady Piermont, it's the circuits. They won't take the strain. You know what old buildings are like.
In which case, I see no reason for this session to continue.
Whoa, Lady Piermont, let's not be too hasty. I'm sure I can accommodate your needs.
Good. Perhaps you can start by letting George here turn up the heating.
Oh, go ahead then, but be careful. The power in here is temperamental.
I turned the thermostat up as far as it would go. I wondered if the suspicious wiring could be used to my advantage.
Yes, go up. Activate the elevator. And then blackout.
Oh, you! Get down from there. You'll trip the power in the whole building if you're not careful.
The elevator on its own wasn't going to blow the power.
Oh. Come on now.
I wasn't going to mess... Excuse me, Mr. Hobbs.
Oh, what do you want? You're supposed to be sprawled naked on that rug with the family jewels out.
Yeah, well, about that. Could I just ask you a couple of questions first?
Blow me. A model who's shy and chatty. It must be my birthday.
Oh.
I hear you did the restoration of that painting that got stolen recently in Paris?
I might have. It's a fine piece. You can smell the paint in every brushstroke.
Do you know a Russian called Medovsky?
You know Medovsky?
Everyone in the London art scene knows Medovsky.
And everyone in the London art scene who likes their kneecaps knows when to keep their trap shut.
That music is killing me.
I turned the volume down again.
Excuse me, Mr. Hobbs.
What now?
How long have you been using Lady Piermont as a model?
Using her? I can't get rid of her.
Yeah, about this naked, sprawling...
Oh, what's up? Afraid of the shrinking effects of a cold warehouse?
No, it's just...
First time? Little embarrassed? Well, if it helps, we can all get naked.
No, definitely not.
Well then, what are you waiting for? Let the monkey see the nuts.
We had a saying in the Stobart family. If a job's worth doing, then do it with your pants on.
But I thought you were a restorer. But you're working on this painting from scratch.
Well, yeah. Look, some clients want a painting that they don't own, restored from scratch, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Don't worry, sunshine. Ignorance is bliss.
Tell me more about La Malediccio.
Why all the interest in that picture? We're not at the Slade now, Sonny Jim.
Are you sure you won't talk about Medosky?
Are you deaf? I already told you to drop the subject.
How about a top-up, Mr. Hobbs?
Don't mind if I do.
It was the same folder that Medovsky had taken from his cupboard. It was the only lead to the painting we had. I needed to look inside. But Hobbs was watching it like a hawk.
What's gonna look anyway?
Hi, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna take a look at some of your pictures. You're very good.
I know, and that portfolio is private. I'm not paying you to gawp around my studio. Get your blooming clothes off!
Sorry.
Sorry.
Hobbs had loosely sketched a young couple and an elderly lady sitting next to an overturned picnic basket. The three characters were naked. Behind them, two men in suits were chatting.
So how are we gonna get a peek inside that folder?
Perhaps your lady friend over there could help.
Lady Piermont? Well, she has many, assets, but subtlety isn't one of them.
Who said anything about subtlety? We need to distract Hobbs, and she's certainly distracting. No, excuse me, but you're casting a shadow.
Wary of any more life-changing surprises, I decided against.
A word, if I may, Lady Piermont.
For you, George, I'm all ears. How can I help?
How did you come to be working with Mr. Hobbs?
Wheresoever a bohemian needs a helping hand, George, mine is always at the ready. And what better way to help than to expose one's flesh to the sensuous brushstrokes of such a talent?
Do you know anything about a stolen painting called La Malediccio?
Oh, is this another of your adventures, George? How delicious. Shh. My heart's a tremor, George. Do you think Wilf is mixed up with this?
Maybe, but I need you to act normally until we're sure.
Mum's the word, Georgie.
Can you keep a secret, Lady Piermont?
I am the very soul of discretion, as you know.
You see that portfolio by Hobbs's table? We need to take a peek inside.
Be still, my beating heart. Just give me the nod, and I'm putty in your hands.
So what have you been up to since our last encounter, Lady Piermont?
Charity work, dear boy.
Oh, any particular kind?
Young men, George. So many have lost their way. I try to guide them best I can.
Whoa. Well,
How about a shot of this, Lady Piermont?
Oh, no, dear. I don't touch the stuff. Reminds me of husband number 5. Or was it 6? Terrible bore, anyway. I'm strictly a gin girl. Ice and a slice and a whiff of tonic.
Would you like a sniff of this?
I'd rather not. Gives me 70s flashbacks.
What do you think of this, Lady Piermont?
Not much, Georgie. Not much.
Lady Piermont, do you happen to know anything about this?
Oh, George, I don't. I'm terribly sorry.
okay. You're not
What do you
gonna
think of this,
use any
Lady Piermont?
use.
Not much.
Right. Well, can you
What do you think
do
of this?
something?
Not much.
Not much. Can you, like, distract
That's
them
all for
then?
now.
Can you...
It was a shaky old elevator that would once have lifted goods between the floors.
Well, can
A
you
word if I may.
distract him?
For you,
Anything else you...
my lips.
We're still trying to figure out a way to distract. That's all for now.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, the stereo consumes power, so that should be on, right?
Hob? A record was... I turned the volume up a few notches.
Yay.
I'd better not... I had no need.
Can you go down? Well, what's the point of going out?
Climbing drain pipe.
Come on, man. Oh dear.
Oh, you! Get down from there. You'll trip the power in the whole building if you're not careful.
The elevator on its own.
Well, I have the stereo on. The heater.
A word if I may.
For you,
Can you get on the
Lady
elevator?
Piermont, we need your help.
how
Yeah.
thrilling. What do you need? Subterfuge? Leisure domain?
Actually, I just need you to step onto that lift behind you.
Oh, but of course. Is this good, George, darling?
Perfect. Now, just stay right there.
A little faster, George, please. There we go. This should do it. Kaboom. Yes.
Oh, not again.
Great success. Oh, for the love of all that's good and holy.
This is going to be one of those days.
A straw had broken the camel's back. Hobbs was very drunk.
You do something about the stool?
I didn't need to sit. It was time for action.
How about a top-up, Mr. Hobbs?
That's smashing. Pour away.
Well, so much for a distraction. Hobbs is...
Perhaps you need to slow him.
Oi! I'm trying to paint here and you're in the way.
Okay. Again. Let's do this again. Yes. Grab it. Grab it. Come on, come on, come on. Hurry the fuck up. Why are you so slow?
Now was my chance.
Oh, now? Now? All right.
It was one of Hobbs' sketches. It was one of... More of Hobbs' sketches. The model looked familiar. More of Hobbs' sketches.
Huh?
Impressionist sketches. Well, it wasn't La Malediccio, but it did appear to be a study for an element of the painting, the Ouroboros. There was something different about the image in the center. It was the Ouroboros from La Malediccio. But what was in the middle? A face with some sort of symbol on the forehead. Strange. I was sure the painting in the gallery had a tree, not a face. I figured the sketch might come in handy, so I took it.
What the heck are you doing with those? They're private papers.
Huh?
Well, that was fun. Just like when you were a private dick, George.
So, you're not models?
No, Mr. Hobbs.
Well, you can't be a copper. You're not stupid enough. So what the blazes are you doing in my studio?
We're investigating the theft of La Malediccio.
I told you I just restored it. That's what I do. Restore paintings.
And these sketches?
Studies done during the restoration. Nothing more. I've got nought to do with what happened after that painting left this studio. How was I to know it was going to get Henri killed?
Hang on a second. How do you know Henri's dead?
Look, he and I went back a long way. Le Lézard Bleu was on the ropes, so I got the painting into his exhibition. Nothing like this was supposed to happen.
Softer heart, softer heart,
We're not
softer
accusing you of
friend.
anything, Mr. Hobbs. We just want to get to the bottom of this.
I get that. and I'll help you however I can. But this mess is way above my pay grade.
How come you needed to make so many sketches of the painting to restore it?
Restoration's not about throwing a load of paint around. It takes research. The Serp is a complicated painting. A lot of subtext. A lot of symbols.
Huh?
Why would anyone want to steal La Maledizio? It's not exactly a famous painting.
True, but there is something special about it that's hard to describe. There's conviction in every brushstroke. Whoever El Serp was, he had a tale to tell. The symbolism is deeply religious.
Tell me about the symbols in La Maledizio.
Very Christian, deeply religious, but not exactly orthodox.
The sort of thing that would upset a priest? There was one at the gallery telling everyone how evil it was.
As I said, it's not exactly orthodox, and the church can be very touchy about orthodoxy. Especially now they can't just burn anyone they disagree with.
We have reason to believe that Medovsky is mixed up in the theft of La Maledizio.
Eh? What would he gain from stealing his own painting?
We have strong evidence that Medovsky is not the real owner.
You'll have a hard time proving that. Medovsky has a full set of provenances for the painting. It traces its legitimate ownership all the way back to the painter.
Well, why didn't Medovsky mention him?
Because they're not with him. Henri's got them. Or had them.
And Henri is dead.
So ask his partner.
Lane?
Lane, yeah, Lane. Look, pal, you're wasting your time looking for conspiracies here. And you're wasting my time if you're not actually going to get naked. Go get the provenance from Lane, and everything will turn out hunky-dory.
But it also puts Marquez's story into question.
Not my problem, darling. Now both of you, get lost. I've got a painting to finish.
And we have a critic to interrogate.
Someone's lying, but who?
Is it the gangster or the old Spaniard?
The painter or the art critic?
I need to head back for Nave's reconstruction.
What about the evidence from Medovsky's house? Will you give it to Nave?
I think I should. And I can put the squeeze on Lane. Ask him about the provenance.
Good. I've got lunch with Ronnie tomorrow. This story is hotting up, and I want to make sure he keeps me on it.
Taxi?
Look at the pig in the sky by the chimneys. Some classic Pink Floyd.